Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading for October. My name is Linda. Thanks so much for tuning in. So I've already shuffled your cards and laid out your spread, and it looks to me like what we've got here is a little bit of a trying and challenging time right now where things may not be, or maybe for some time actually, things, especially in your work life or with some type of partnership or collaboration, it could be romantic, but I feel this is more of a work reading here. There could be some kind of turn of events that occurred a little while back that has been had sent you down a path where you are maybe now making different considerations than you were initially. And the challenges that you face may seem overwhelming and may seem like they are outweighing the benefits of continuing or trying to proceed or trying to maintain your loyalty to a situation or to a person. But what I'm feeling in this reading is that there's a karmic and very spiritual lesson embedded in this particular experience that you're having right now that may seem like you may not be able to see it for what it is. You might just simply be struggling with or be challenged by difficult circumstances, and in particular a difficult person or something that you see, or a person that you perceive as being difficult or challenging. But it's so much deeper than that. There's a lot of energy in this reading that's talking about truth and wisdom and realizations that are available to you that you are not necessarily able to perceive right now because your attention may be in slightly off of the real point. You might be seeing things that you are being triggered by and are focusing your attention on those details. And you might not see the other layer that's being presented to you that may be somewhat disguised by a troubling situation that you maybe have tried to put energy into and tried to solve or figure out. But you may, it's for some of you watching this, I feel like you kind of are maybe ready to give up or wanting to kind of drop the situation or walk away from it because it feels like it's something beyond what you're capable of fixing or resolving or healing. But inside of the situation, I feel there is being presented to you the potential for a really deep healing that goes beyond the actual experience itself, and it's something very deep and very... There's an incredibly powerful lesson here for you, and you're being challenged to actually really see what that is, rather than looking at seeing the concerns that are troubling you, which are outside of you, if that makes sense. So there's a possibility here for a really big turning point and for a deep healing on a very spiritual level, on a very karmic level as well. I think there is something here about honesty and wisdom and truth and seeing the reality of who you are, how you may be seeing another person project energy onto you, or in so much as how you perceive another person's projection onto you, and being able to find the willingness and the humility to see how that projection is actually really symbolic or a reference for something that's within you that needs to be healed. I know this is sounding really vague and fluffy, but I'm seeing energy in this reading about truth and wisdom. Okay, so the Magician with the King of Wands both in reverse, and Queen of Swords reversed with the Empress. I feel like most of the cards here are all you and your energy, but you might not be seeing that for what it is. I feel like your focus may be too much on externalizing the problems or seeing the issues with another person. But what's here, and particularly the Queen of Swords reversed and the Magician reversed, both of these archetypes have issues in the reverse with manipulation and with dishonesty. So I'm not pointing the finger here. I'm just simply trying to deliver the messages here of this energy in a way that hopefully you can see a different way to look at your current circumstance, so that you can find a way through, rather than stepping back and away from something that you're actually really close to figuring out. So leadership is being suggested here with the King of Wands, but being that he's in reverse, also these two, all of these energies, there's can you see the colors as well in these cards? There's this sort of masculine and feminine energy being like, there's a bit of polarity here. And I feel like there's I'm feeling like this needs to balance out a nurturing energy within you, as well as a kind of more active, let me find the right word, like this fire energy of the king and then the magician, both of these in reverse, a little disconcerting. You know, like we really want to see these cards up in the right direction to show that you are channeling forward your chi, your life force in a way that is very intentional and specific and clear, and without like any manipulation, without any sort of selfishness, but with clarity and integrity. There may be in you, I feel like what I'm feeling in this energy particularly right now is that your ability to lead is very strong, but there's a sensation here of you maybe not fully owning that, and maybe stepping back slightly from a leadership role in which you kind of then become a little bit too passive to the point where you could become potentially victimized by another person. I feel there's a need here for more honesty in your situation as far as the way you communicate. Of course with compassion, of course with love, of course with dignity, of course with integrity. But I feel with both the Magician and the Queen of Swords in reverse in your reading, there is some indicator here that more empowered and empathic, clear, honest, and direct communication is needed from your end. And that in itself may be all that you need in this particular situation to heal and resolve a problem that feels like, I feel your frustration in here. I feel like you're wanting to kind of step off. I feel like you're close to giving up on something that actually you're really close to. And I feel like there's been maybe some repeating cycles of this in the recent past. You have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse at the heart of the reading, crossed by the Page of Cups. So, and there's also the Temperance card here. I'm feeling like there's a need for I'm hearing guidance. So for some of you, maybe that the energy that those two cards is bringing, that I'm tuning into, is about maybe you listening a little bit more to your higher self and your guides that are kind of informing you via, you know, your intuitive impulses, or your dream space, or through signs and symbols in your physical reality. But it's more than that. I feel like it's not just about, you know, being intuitive and listening to your spirit guides. That's even a little bit fluffy, even though that's kind of exactly what I'm doing here. But it's more like, I don't know, I feel like I want to say grow some balls. I'm sorry, that's very crass and maybe not quite the right language to use to really like actualize the energy that I'm feeling with this, but I don't know how else to say it. I think you're being a little bit too meek and too timid, and maybe, yeah, just and I feel like there's a bit of a direction in this energy that's saying, don't be afraid to be a little bit more bold and more straightforward. You know, I'm not talking about being aggressive towards someone verbally and letting them have it. I'm talking about finding a way to just be really clear and direct about what it is that you're feeling and you're experiencing with another person, in order to find a place of acceptance and healing and resolution, so that the process can continue. Because with this Ten of Swords in reverse in the crowning position, also the Star in reverse, I feel like you're ready to give up. I feel like there's a hopelessness and a kind of despondency, or that's not even the right one. What is it? Not despondency. Irritability and frustration is more what I'm feeling, right? But you have this Knight of Pentacles here in the upright, in the outcome position of the reading, suggesting that you need to continue to be patient and move forward slowly, step by step, and fight to overcome this feeling of loss of optimism and hope. You know, with the Temperance here in the hopes and fears position of the reading, upright with the Six of Swords in reverse, I feel like what this is suggesting here is that there is some situation from the past, an experience from the past, or maybe multiple. Maybe there's a repeating pattern here that hasn't been healed and resolved, so it's kind of bleeding over into this situation. Like I feel like if there's a person in your environment that you're dealing with that you are really feeling really frustrated by, it's almost like that person actually is representative of a type of energy that you have been dealing with or dealt with before, and your frustration about them is actually not about them, but it's about what that person represents and how you need to change the way you are dealing with that kind of energy in order to create a different outcome than the same again as what you've experienced in the past. Now here at the bottom of the deck we have Strength upright, Ten of Pentacles upright, Seven of Cups reversed, and the Devil reversed. There's also the Ten of Cups here. I'm going to take that. So now we've got 3 tens in the reading as well as the Wheel of Fortune. So 4 tens. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups upright, Ten of Swords, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So the Strength card here is definitely suggesting that this is not really an easy situation and that you are needing to really dig deep in your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual reserves to work with what you have in front of you. It's also suggesting something karmic, which for me is not about a debt that needs to be paid off, but rather something that is yet to be mastered by you, that's available to you now and that's right in front of you, and that with your persistence and patience and willingness and discipline and courage and integrity, you have what's required of you to master this particular moment. So it's important not to back down here, because it's not like it's going to go away if you choose to step back now, which you certainly can. Like if it really is more than you really want to deal with and it's beyond what you feel you can do right now, that's totally fine. Free will is always at play. But at some point this thing will arise again at another point in the future, and you'll still have to take a look at it. So with these 2 tens here and the Devil, I feel that and the Seven of Cups in reverse, the 2 tens there feel like they're pointing to some kind of familial thing. Like maybe what you're looking at now is not, you're not dealing with a family member, but something about this person is reminding you of something in your family life, when you were growing up, something with your parents, or something in your in familial situations that seems very reminiscent of what this is here. And with the Devil, again, there's a lot of Saturnian energy at play right now. The Strength card, number 8, is Saturnian. The Devil card is very Saturnian. So there's something about the situation which feels like a lot of pressure and a little difficult and very trying, and some constraint and difficulty that you have to work with and rise up to overcome or to master with patience and discipline. So tap into that energy and work with that. The Sun in the foundation of this reading in reverse is really suggesting that you are very close to resolving this matter, and that it's a very timely moment in life for you to address this issue, because what's possible right now is a lot of healing and a resolution. That's also with the Page of Cups crossing. But these 2 major arcana cards here, 10 and 19 from the majors, Wheel of Fortune and Sun, both in reverse. Again, there's like a possibility for you to resolve something that has been maybe repeating. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's really important to understand how much of your life and your situation is really by your own design. And sometimes there are moments where things show up that feel so left field and so unexpected and so annoying that this should be happening right now when things were going so great. But the obstacle is the way. I'll just say that. The obstacle is the way. Don't shirk away from something that feels difficult here, because what's on the other side of this is such an expansive space of opening up to a type of strength and grace that you may not have been aware of is actually within you. And there's just something there that is for you to realize that is there, that is actually something that you are limited by right now, but it's not actually a real limitation. It's just something that you need to work through here to stand up and step up into your own authority, into your own leadership, into more compassion, into more... with the Magician reverse there, I feel like there's more of your empowerment that you can be realizing here that you're not quite seeing just yet. More honesty as well with the Queen of Swords. More honesty. And with the Empress here, I feel this is talking about channeling a little bit more of creative energy. You know, both the Magician and the Empress. More creative energy. Like your creative energy could be getting more voice, more amped up when you figure out how to best approach this situation that you're in right now and bring forward utter honesty and truth. And maybe for some of you, that you might have been holding back on some kind of expression of a certain truth, because maybe on a subconscious level you might see that if you do that, if you open up that specific channel of honesty and share something with another person, that you're opening the door for them to reciprocate and do the same. And you may not be willing to hear what another person has to say with you, but I feel like that's actually the point of this situation. There's something you're not seeing that's right here that you are feeling frustrated by because you think the other person is the problem. But I think if you're willing enough to open up that conversation, and by sharing what you feel you need to say, then you are then giving permission for another person as well to be honest and real with you. And it's in that moment that the healing happens. I feel like there's something that you're not seeing that the other person can see, but you're triggered by this other person. And so, I don't know how else to say that. Just have a conversation. Open up to a conversation. You need to start the conversation. It needs to happen that way. I feel like you need to start the conversation. Otherwise, the pathway or the protocol is not being recognized in the correct way for you to actually receive what's available in the situation. But there is healing available here. Don't give up. Be patient. Continue to be patient. I don't feel like this is the moment to walk away. And I think you know it too, otherwise you might have already done so. Okay, Sagittarius. I don't know if I can give you more than that. I hope you can take what's here and use it to work with this energy and find the courage and the strength to move forward and find resolution. There is a lot of healing waiting for you on the other side of this hump that you're in. I feel your frustration, but don't give up now. You're so close. So I'm going to do your high octave spread now, channeling again your higher self and guides. So please send your energy forward into the cards so I can get really clear messages for you. We're going to look at any other karmic and spiritual forces that might be at play that we can't see. We hopefully will illuminate the blind spots and bring more awareness to your situation to give you more empowerment to work with this energy to make the most out of the situation and the lessons that you're facing right now. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Sage of Wands in the upright. It's kind of similar to the King of Wands. It's kind of I'm feeling that as your energy in this reading. As I said, all these cards down here I felt are very indicative of your energy right now, but I feel like in particular the Sage of Wands and the King of Wands is quite descriptive of your energy. All right, now we have the Tower in reverse, crossed by the Ace of Cups, Hermit reversed, Lovers, Sage of Cups, Man of Cups, Death, Eight of Wands, Temperance again in the same part of the reading, Sage of Crystals. So now we have 3 sages in your reading and they're all upright. 4 of Crystals reversed, 4 of Wands, 6 of Cups reversed, and the 10 of Crystals reversed, which it's the same card, the 10 of Crystals and the 10 of Swords. Same energy here. Okay, so now we have 10 of Swords and the Death card together in this part of the reading, which is how you see yourself. What I'm feeling overall in this energy is that there is an awareness, I think, in you that there is some major transformation on the other side of this difficult patch that you feel that you may be a little bit frustrated by. But what you need to see here that you may not be able to see is that there is something actually in you that needs to be healed, and some part of your ego needs to be shed and eliminated. Some part of something in you that is resistant, that feels a little resistant here. I think there's something in you that needs to grow and change and be awakened by letting go of something that you may or may not be aware that you're actually very attached to. Maybe some part of your personality or a certain way that you see things or do things, but it's not working anymore. Maybe it hasn't worked for some time. You may or may not be aware of it, but I feel that with the Tower there in the reverse, crossed by the Eight of Cups, there is that slight amount of resistance to letting go, to actually working through what is troubling you right now, because it feels so frustrating that it's, again, another person that is maybe in your way or in your like causing you to feel irritated or something. But it's not about them. It's not about them. There's something in you that needs to go. And again, there's this energy here. In the last reading, it was the Six of Swords. In this reading, it's the Six of Cups, where I feel like there's something from the past that needs your attention. Something either familiar, like some kind of family pattern, or some kind of memory, like old memory, or type of thing, behavior, or action that is kind of deeply embedded and ingrained in you from the past that just needs to become aware of, so that you can realize that you're in an old pattern that you're ready to be out from, done with. And again, the Temperance is in the hopes and fears part of the reading in both spreads. So I feel that there is there is an awakening here. The Temperance card is one of my favorites. It's very underrated, I think, because it's not very glamorous. You know, from the Major Arcana, there's so many other glamorous cards, but the Temperance card is very important. It's maybe one of the most important cards in the deck, in my opinion, because it's in that space of moving out of what's right and what's wrong and having this polarized reality, to being able to enter into this fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional space of all is, and there's no right and wrong, good and bad kind of energy. You just accept all things. There's forgiveness, there's unconditional love, there's compassion, there's healing. That's what you're hoping for in this situation, and that is what's available to you. But it requires you to aspire towards it and work towards it actively, and not be passive in a situation, and not walk away from something that you're close to resolving. The Hermit in this reading in the reverse, in the crowning position, sort of suggesting that you may need to just and with also the Tower in reverse, I feel that you need to go within a little bit more and seek to find the light and the answers within you, and because it is there, it's there. You don't necessarily need any external help. You don't even really need this reading. You just need to go within. You need to meditate on your own energy and really see the situation for what it is in utter honesty, and place the responsibility where it belongs, so that you can be empowered in the situation to then create the change that you want. So I'm going to leave that there for now. That's just an introduction to this reading. If any of that's piqued your interest, you can click the link in the description below to go to the full reading. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. And I will see you in the next reading. Thank you, Sag.